Hi, I'm Mark Otto, Director of Sales of AquaTECH Pool Management Group. AquaTECH is a commercial pool management company with an in-house construction and renovation department. We serve HOA community pools, swim clubs, country clubs, and other commercial facilities in North and South Carolina.
And I'm Kelly Gordon. I'm the Regional Director of Operations for AquaTECH's Triad office. And today I'm here to talk to you guys about services we provide for our customers. More specifically, we're going to talk about VGB compliance. Many of you are familiar with the Virginia Graham-Baker Act. Its purpose is to prevent drain entrapment and child drowning in swimming pools and spas. Your facilities must be VGB compliant in order to receive an operating permit from your local health department.
I know there are a lot of drain covers on the market today. How do you find out which one is the right one for my pool?
Well, that's a great question. The different curves on this graph represent the different horsepower motors that are available for this certain product. If you follow the curve for the 5 horsepower pump to the end, you will get the max gallon per minute flow rating for the pump, which is 400 gallons per minute.
Now that we know the maximum flow is 400 gallons per minute, we just need to find a drain cover that exceeds that. We could use the AquaStar 1216.
No, Mark, hold up, not so fast. Sizing the covers has become much more involved in the last year. Up until this year, many drain covers operated under the 2008 standard, and there were a few requirements that needed to be met. As you'll note, the only specification noted here is a minimum sump depth of 3 inches. If the sump is deeper than that, this cover would be compliant with the pump from our example.
Great, so we're done, right?
No, remember, there is a new 2017 standard that all drain cover manufacturers have to meet. So let's take a look at the same drain cover with the new 2017 standards.
Oh, this looks awful confusing.
Under the drain cover in your pool, you will have some type of sump underneath. It may be prefabricated like this one, or it may be what we call a field-built sump, which means it was formed during the construction of the pool. There are several key features of each sump we need to note in order to size the new drain cover. First, we need to note the outlet pipe size in the sump. Second, we need to determine the outlet pipe, if the outlet pipe is in the floor of the sump or if it's in the wall. And then thirdly, we need to determine the distance between the top of the outlet pipe and the floor, or in other words, the pipe depth.
Got it. So now we can go back to our drain cover information.
If we cross-reference the information from the sump, it looks like the flow rate is
500 gallons per minute. And since that is greater than the maximum pump flow rate of 400 gallons per minute,
that would make it VGB compliant.
okay, so for this example, we would be compliant. What happens if the sump is only 5 inches deep?
In this case, that cover would not be compliant. We would have to find another cover to install. And in some cases, we may need to modify the existing sump to meet the new requirements, which would require draining the pool.
That makes sense. But the sumps are in the bottom of the pool and it's the middle of swim season. How are we going to determine the information on the sumps?
Well, that's another great question, Mark. We will need to send a diver in to do a thorough assessment. Our divers generate a report like this for each one of our facilities we manage that have expiring drain covers. We use underwater cameras to document all information, and we are offering these assessments for varying costs depending on the size of the facility.
What would happen if we didn't get the diver assessment done?
Well, it would make it actually impossible for us to determine what drain cover is going to be compliant for your pool.
Is it really that important?
It definitely is. We must be compliant for permitting to cover the liability for our customers and to make sure that the pools are safe to swim.
We want them to be safe. After the diver's assessment is done, what are the next steps?
We will take the sump information, size the covers specifically for your pool, and then send you a quote to have the covers installed. It'll be a turnkey service that will cover all items needed for approval, depending on which county you're in. We will include all the necessary details for your facility in our proposal.
Sounds like a lot of work. Do we have to do this for every pool each year?
No, actually, the drain manufacturer is going to determine the length of time that those drains are going to last. So some drain covers last 3 years, some last 15, but most drain covers last about 5 years.
Okay.
I would estimate that over half of the commercial pools in this country need to have the work done prior to the 2024 season. This could create supply chain issues with covers or other problems that could delay compliance with work in the spring. I really strongly recommend you get started on this right away.
Kelly and I, along with other members of the AquaTECH team, will be at the CAI conference in Raleigh on August 17th and 18th.
We look forward to seeing you all there. and answer any questions you may have about VGB compliance or any other pool needs.
See you there.